Back in April, Universal Studios worked with the government to announce that Universal Studios was coming to the UK. And with me making Alton Towers, the UK's arguably biggest theme park on my channel, it was an easy decision. Yes, I am making all of Universal in Minecraft. Yes, I'm doing Alton at the same time. They should hopefully coincide a little bit, but this is a huge project and I am excited to get underway. I've been working on this for ages already. Like, I decided to do this like a month ago, maybe, from recording this, and I've pretty much already designed what I'm doing for this video. But yes, I am doing this in survival, but there are a few things we need to do before I get building. Because we're in survival, we can't build as much per episode because it's a lot more time. And obviously I could have just built it in creative, but you know, there's a bit of a twist on it and makes it a bit different from the Alton series, as well as obviously being in vanilla. Here is the space I am working with. Oh, there we go. I need to flatten all of this jungle. Everything around here. No, I don't have any armor on. This whole jungle is claimed by me. Yes, I am on a server. This kind of public server, but I'm not going to say it in videos. I don't really want people joining. Just in case. I don't want anything would happen, but just in case. But anyway, this whole jungle, all this bamboo, all the sparse jungle, it's all mine. And I need to flatten it. So the first step of making Universal is by flattening it. And there's obviously two options there. I can either manually do it, or I could blow it all up. Obviously, you know which one we're going to go with. So then I obviously dug it all out by hand instead of blowing it all up. I'm just kidding, I blew it all up. I made this big line of bombers, and this was not wide enough at all. I'm going to have to do more in future episodes, but this was enough for now. I made this giant line of bombers and blew everything up. The schematic was, like, for them was 30 chunks wide. It was the entire jungle, everything across, so enjoy that. So this is the aftermath of what we did. It's still up there. I did send a couple more out on that side just to go across, which I then broke. But they're on the other side now. This place is a mess. There's water everywhere, but don't worry, it'll all get fixed eventually. That I'll have to painstakingly do. You know, you saw all this in 5 seconds, but you know. Set up a little temporary platform using the schematic. Obviously, you can see the orange lines across here, you can see where it is. I don't want to render it, just so you know, you don't get spoiled by what we're doing. Although, it'll be the thumbnail, so... Yeah. This is a huge amount of materials that I will need to gather. So, better get started. Let's go. In these two shulker boxes are the last materials I need for Universal. I've been gathering for so long, but it's finally done. But there is one more material I need. One block I need. I need a stone cutter, and obviously I don't have the materials for a stone cutter, so I gotta make an important trip. This is boat cutters, where they sell stone cutters and boats. Oh, I don't need two. Get a bit of excess here, but you know, do what you gotta do. And that marks final stuff. Oh, I'm so happy it's over. It's been a lot of material gathering, and I know I'm going to have to gather it a million times more for the rest of the park, but you know, this is why I tortured myself doing this in survival. Alright, let's head over there. Here we are, back at the site. And here's every single material we need. This has been horrible. And I haven't organised it at all, but you just see how many bricks there are, and leaves as well. There's a ton of them over here. This has been a very slow week of material gathering, but oh, I keep falling in the water. I hate the water here. But yeah, we can finally get on to the main time lapse of the video. Been a bit slow. Let's do this. Welcome to the time lapse. The rest of this video, mostly, except near the end, is going to be me building Universal to the entrance, just during time lapses and all sped up. I think it'll be pretty fun. From now on, all the Universal videos are going to be based, are going to be set out like this. They're going to be a little bit of preparation at the start, you know, digging out what we need to. If we need to do more of that, which I do, especially for the next episode, I'm going to blow up more of this. There's just not enough space. You'll see multiple times in this time lapse that I'm having to dig out more and more because it wasn't wide enough. And then I'll get all the materials, you know, fun little time-lapse, not time-lapse, but like montage of that, like we did earlier. And then it's going to be, most of the video is going to be building. So, like I probably will do for this video, I'm going to put a little timestamp at the start. If you want to skip to it, I'll figure out how to do those chapters things. I've actually never done them before, but I'll figure it out. Yeah. So right now I'm building the kind of like the main area, the middle of it, and doing all the floor stuff. You can see the world, the big giant Universal sign. I think it might be bigger in the concept art, but I went with that because it looks nicer. Sadly it can't spin, but you know. And speaking of that, I guess, obviously this is vanilla. I've made it for the last nearly a year, which has been insane, like 10 months now. I've been making Alton in Create Mod, and yeah, that was kind of my thing. It was very unique doing it in Create Mod, so why move to vanilla? There's a good reason for it, because while I've been playing Alton, I've also been playing this server just generally, and I do play it more than Alton. I am losing that motivation for Alton. It's just not as fun anymore. Just look, I do want to get it finished. I'm not saying it's ending, it's not. I have done decent progress on Oblivion, but nowhere near. Universal absolutely took up my time here. It took a while. It took over 2 months for this video to come out. There's a lot of reasons for that, and a lot of it is things that aren't going to happen again, because the main things that really stopped me from doing Universal are I wanted to finish my base on the server, which I didn't even do anyway, but I did do a lot of progress on it. And I wanted to, what else do I want to do? I did have to design it at the same time, and it was taking me a while. I wasn't super sure on it straight away. I was like, oh, I'll do this in the future. And then I got more and more into it and thought, actually, this is a really good video idea. I should do it. And then there was events on the server. There was this mini game event that just happened, and that took up all my time. It was like 2 weeks straight. I just could not work on Universal because I had to do this mini game. So yeah. Moving on here, we can see I'm building this restaurant. There's kind of like 3 main buildings in this entrance area. There's this one. There's a little building next to it, which has a small entrance, then a big building behind it, which no idea what that could be. And then there's another building on the other side, which is connected to the hotel, I think. And that has a big sign on it saying bar. So with this series, I'm obviously going to have to, guess. I'm going to do my own thing because we don't know what the interiors are going to be like. We don't even know what the IPs actually are. Obviously, some of them are pretty obvious, like the Jurassic World one. That's very obviously Jurassic World. But there's some we just don't really know. And we don't really know what the interiors are, so I'm just guessing. So this one, I went with a restaurant. Just pretty simple restaurant, nothing that crazy. Because this is the entrance area, it's not really based on anything. But yeah, it's a pretty simple restaurant. There's nothing too much to say about it. I did these pretty nice like table ideas with the azalea, and I put moss carpet underneath it so that you can put them down. And I did a good job there. We actually have a little thing on this server, a little mod. It's not really a mod. I don't really know what it is. I guess it is a mod, where you can actually sit on stairs and stuff. So you can actually sit on all of these tables, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I've tried. It's kind of realistic. Like I've included like toilets and stuff, but and a kitchen and whatever. It's also like I've not studied restaurants to design these, so it's not that crazy. I want it to Universal's very you can explore it a lot, and that's actually really big because the rides probably aren't going to be functional. I've thought about it a lot. It's going to take a few episodes to even get to any rides, so I may change my mind by then. But I think this is what I'm going to go with. Is the rides are going to be more decorational and it's going to be accurate as what they would look like than actually functional. If they can be, like a lot of the dark rides might be functional, but the rides probably won't. The roller coasters, no. But it's not the end of the world because okay, this is so far in the future. Like this is not going to happen anytime soon. But I do plan on, if I do finish Universal, I will do a small series on Create, where I'll modify it, and make it, work like I do with Alton. But, yeah. And so, kind of based on that is, why did I do this in survival? It's so stupid. It is just because I play this server all the time. So then it's it's my main project on the server now. It's not really. It was originally going to be my base. Not this building, but the building next to it originally was going to be my storage system. But then I decided, no, I'm just going to use my base. It's not that far away. So, yeah, so I changed that. So I want every interior here to be explorable. But, yeah, I did this in survival, which is such a burden on me. It's going to make it, so much longer to come out. Yeah, I could do it in creative. And, okay, I designed all of this probably a month before, maybe over a month before building any of it, because of a lot of the delays and stuff, and just a lot of other life things as well. Kind of stopped it, it's finishing college and whatever. Yeah, I've put a lot of detail into these. You can see the lights going up now. Hopefully I've lined this up alright. Oh, there we go, we're moving on to this building. So this one was kind of weird, because on the concept art, there's really nothing, it's just the entrance. It could be anything in here. The other one I thought, okay, that's probably going to be a restaurant, I can't really see it being anything else. The only thing I can see is a hotel, but there's a massive hotel, it won't be a hotel. So, and what it looked like, it seemed kind of fancy, so I thought I'll go with a restaurant. But this one seemed a bit weird, and so I thought, okay, if that's a restaurant and the other thing's gonna be a bar, which actually turned into a pub, I'm probably gonna go with this is kind of like a food area, and then the main street will have all like the info and the health and whatever, a bit like Alton. So I went with a fast food restaurant here. Just like I thought, like maybe like because of the entrance, I don't know, I could go with some kind of Asian restaurant. I've not really like based it on anything, so I kind of just like did whatever. So it's not like specifically a Chinese or Japanese or whatever. Just it's just like a cool little restaurant. It could sell anything. It's not specific. Doesn't really matter anyway. But yeah, it should cutscene. What am I? What? Oh yeah, this is great. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so this little back mural is actually based on my base because I've got like a kind of like Japanese temple base. So I thought, oh, because I'm doing an Asian restaurant, you know, maybe I'll put a little mural to it because it's fun. I'm not specifically saying it's a Japanese restaurant. So it doesn't really matter. But I'm pretty happy with how this interior went out. I think it's pretty cool. And then, yeah, we're moving on to the exterior here. I'm just building some trees. I do actually have custom trees. These are obviously just normal oak trees, but I do have some custom trees, which will build later on, I think, right after this. Which are built by my friend Quinn, who will come up in a bit because about the pub. But yeah, I got some custom trees designed, and then they're going to go everywhere. Based on the ones in the schematic, not schematic, what am I talking about? The concept art. Yeah. Hopefully, you know, but it took a lot of azalea leaves. Like that little azalea bit in the time lapse from earlier, that took like 2 hours. It was horrible, but I got through it, and now I have a stupid amount of azalea leaves that I don't need. Well, I do need. I'll need them in the future. But yeah, I wanted this area to look quite lush, and you know, it is in a jungle, partly because then the grass is a lot greener and stuff like that. It makes it look a lot nicer. Obviously, it's not going to be a jungle in real life. It's going to be a field in England. So, you know. It's quite nice, and also this jungle was a pretty nice space to put it in because it was decently flat, so it wouldn't be too hard to get rid of. There was no mountains or anything. Yeah, here is the main entrance. I'm trying my best with this. There's a little globe at the front which I need to change because I know there's a little way I need to add glass to it to make it more round. But yeah, I'm always pretty happy with this though. I think it turned out alright. And then I'm going to use this as my nether portal for it as well, but I'm going to do that in episode 2. I have designed it though. So, a lot of you are probably wondering what is, well, anyone who's been watching the Alton series is probably wondering what's going on with that. I mentioned before, I've worked a bit on Oblivion, but it's really not that much. Universal has taken up a lot of my time, and Alton's in a weird state because I'm kind of not that happy with it. I think being modded just makes me a worse builder because I'm like really happy with how Universal's turned out here, and it's just so much better than anything I've done on Alton. There's parts I'm happy with. I do like Wicker Man, I like Mutiny Bay and Tower Street. I'm pretty happy with those 3. It's like my best 3 there, for builds. But yeah, it is the custom trees I was talking about as well. Anyway, yeah, Alton might take a bit of a hit for a while. To be honest, I don't think the next video is going to be Oblivion. It's probably going to be this episode 2. It's just more interesting to me. But I do really want to get Alton finished. Like, a lot of people want to see it done. And it's done so much for me. It's growing my channel a lot. And to be honest, if Universal doesn't work out, then I'll probably go back to it. But yeah, it might take a little bit of a hit because of this. It's just more interesting to me. And it's better. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. Yeah, these custom trees were horrible to build. Look at him. Look at him. He's following me. You see him? Yeah, he's following me. I owed him money and he wouldn't leave me alone. Yeah, it was all weird. Okay, I genuinely have an important question that I need you to answer in the comments. Like, if you're watching this right now, answer it in the comments, because, you know, it's not as many of you, it's, you know, on a smaller channel, so every single one of you, it's important, and I need, you know, I need the answer to this. So do you know what you would rather see with Universal? Because I can either do longer videos, or I can do shorter videos. So we're moving on to the pub now, so I'll try to wrap this up. So I can either do longer videos where I do bigger segments, like I could do, like the next one is all of Tower Street, but it'll probably take a lot longer. Or I could do half of Tower Street. But then, you know, and obviously it won't take it nearly as long. Because, you know, that's a pretty big video, but then it's obviously not as interesting, you know, it's like, oh, it's not this big area. Why am I saying Tower Street? It's Main Street. Sorry, I'm just so used to calling it Tower Street because it's also in. Yeah, Main Street. But yeah, if you'd rather see, you know, shorter videos where I don't do as much, but they come out far more frequently, and there's, you know, more of them, you know, say that. And if you'd rather longer videos, tell me, please, because I'm not sure. I would probably prefer to make shorter ones, but you know, upload a little bit more frequently would be nice. But yeah, anyway, this pub, it was interesting. It was obviously a bar in the concept art, but I thought it's Britain. It would, you know, it would make sense if it was a pub. This is really stupid, but because I don't know what I could do with these, like, and it's not really themed to a certain IP, I thought I'm gonna dedicate this to my favorite alcoholic on the server. So there's like a few little things that it's like kind of based off what they wanted, and wanted in there, and you know, stuff like that. And I don't build it in this time lapse, but there's a little mural to their base, which I think is, you know, the best one on the server, and you can all fight me on it. Yeah, but I'm actually really happy with how the pub turned out. And it's called The Quib, which we'll see later because it's based on the name Quinn. And it's really stupid, but I know I had a lot of fun with it. And, you know, who cares? You can't see what the interior looks like. It's obviously not going to look like that, but, you know, I just had a bit of fun with it. I've got these stands at the front here that are going to be used for food, like just like there's an ice cream parlor, burgers, nachos, whatever. And yeah, but this is actually the end of the time lapse. I've actually yamped on pretty well, so let's move on to the next bit. Look at me, I'm on a happy guest. We are riding into Universal Studios, Great Britain. Well, obviously the start of it. Let's let this guy go. Come down here, buddy. Yeah, we just updated, so like a day ago from when I'm recording this. Now, I'm not going to show off everything just yet, because there is actually a couple things we need to do before we are officially finished. And the main thing I need to get is arrows, which I know it sounds a bit silly, but it's for this fountain at the front here with the Universal Studios globe. And they like bounce on this water. You might have seen it before. Also, my water's really clear at the moment. Like, I usually have it a bit clearer, but I don't know what's going on with that, so I'll try and fix that. But there is actually water there. It's just really hard to see. But yeah, I need to get these tipped arrows because they can make a cool effect. But it's going to be a little bit of a detour before we finish up this front area. How to make tipped lingering potion by combining. Oh, Dragon's Breath? Oh god, we have to fight the Ender Dragon. I don't know the stuff for that. I don't think I've ever actually made Dragon's Breath before. This will be a quick little, you know, detour. Oh, should we set our spot one?
Too late.
I'm gonna set mine.
I hope I'm not gonna die.
I think I've done, like, respawn the dragon in so long. The Enderman. No.
Go.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
the
I
Dragon's
collected mine. Yeah, I collected mine.
There we go. Let's kill it now, I guess. 12 should be enough. Oh, the achievement. No!
Sorry.
Alright, ready?
Yeah.
Go. Right, tell me when you're done. Oh no, just pick one of those. Damn it. Don't go too close to it.
No! I picked one.
That's fine. There you go.
Yippee!
Yay!
Yippee!
Hopefully the other two won't be as bad.
Hmm.
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
Yay!
Yippee! Oh, this looks nice.
Yeah. And with that final edition of the arrows, Universal Studios, well, the entrance is finished. I'm just gonna give you a little tour of what we've done. Yeah, sorry, I've got that little happy gas, not little, the happy gas floating around there. Yeah, it's just chilling. It's fun, and I'll find a spot for him at some point. But yeah, this is Universal. I love walking into here with the fountain and just it would be really grand. These jungle trees, like the background, do kind of ruin it. It's gonna be really good when it's done, but we are so far from that. So here's the full. Like, I'm not showing it off too well yet, but this is the main entrance. It's the first thing I made, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm gonna say I'm happy with it all the time. I am. This is the entrance. This will lead into Main Street. Look at that. Yeah, I need to clear all this stuff out. There's so much I need to do. It's going to be a long series. It's going to be around for a while. Let's do a little tour. So here's our restaurant. I've got these armor stands around. You'll see a few of them. I'll do some like custom ones. I think all the workers are going to look like me, which I did in Alton as well. And we've got lots of seating. So you can sit down here. The mod we have. Little thing, we got some toilets. But yeah. And then there's a kitchen over here as well. A freezer as well. Over here is our fast food. Go in here, you'd order, collect, go eat your food. Got a little mural to my base. I'll show a little thing on screen of what my base looks like so you can see what I'm doing. And then over here, I didn't show a lot of everything I did in the time lapse with the pub in this part of the building. Yeah, so this is the Quib. It's quite like a pub like that. What's this shop doing? Yep. I've got these stands here. You will have people in them. There's my little ice cream parlor. I made these with some armor stands. I'll show you a little time lapse I did before. Here's a candy floss. And this one is actually going to be a Greg's. I thought that would be kind of funny to have. Because I was just like doing random colours and I accidentally made this colour scheme. Like, oh, this is just Greg's. So, well, you know, they might have a Greg's here. It's Britain. So, yeah. Oh yeah, also this is very important. Just like Alton. Oh, this is very full up. This is disgusting. But all my bins work. Anyway, if we head over into the Quib. Is Quinn right there. That's the bartender. And we've got a little mural back here to her base. Again, I'll show what her base looks like so you can see what I was inspired by here. And in here, we've just got a kitchen. And Quinn built herself a little base up here, which is pretty cool. She was pretty happy with the final thing when I showed it off to her. So, yeah. It's all turned out really well. Now I'll go in free cam just to kind of show the final thing off. See, this is already massive. There's so much more to do. Oh, hello, clouds. I need to sort my clouds out. But yeah, there's much more to do. I can't, like, I've got 30 chunk render distance and I still can't see all the way over there. That's gonna do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you do like this new series idea and wants to support it out. I've put a lot of effort into this video, so I'd really appreciate some support. But that's all. See you later.